But I got involved in this big argument. I want to actually show you guys this because this was pretty interesting, I found. This guy on YouTube named Timmy2cents, he put out this video of Dylan Klebold's mom. Yeah, so her name was Sue Kelbold, and she did a TED Talk about her son. And, like, all these people are getting on his case about it because this dude came out, Miorby. He had 0 followers, and he posted this one video. And he blew up. His video went viral. Very jealous because I had more followers than this guy, more subscribers than this guy. And then out of nowhere, so he did a video reacting to this video here you see on screen by Timmy2cents, and we'll skim through the video. I'll just show you some things that he said, and then I'll go over Miorby. I guess his name's Miorby, but he did a rebuttal video telling Timmy why he's wrong, and then they had this big debate, but then the whole debate just went straight to shit. So I asked them to let me moderate the debate. I don't know if they'll let me, but it just so happened this video went viral because of his reaction to this guy's video that went viral as well. So he's got 3.1 million views on this video, and let me send you. Link? Yeah, I was just about to say I'll send you the link real quick. Yeah, well, we don't go. None of this talks about any of what actually took place that day. So I just want to make that clear.
Okay, I just wanted to cover our bacon there a little bit.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. This is literally going to be just to focus on the mother, okay? I just want to make that very clear to YouTube. We are not talking about school shootings, okay? We're talking about the mother of a school shooter. That's a completely different topic altogether, okay? I just want to make that very clear, all right?
Nor do we agree with anybody that does do that either.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's start it, and then I'll tell you when to stop. But we're just gonna get a general. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. Okay, this is a 44-minute long video, and we're not gonna watch the whole thing. But we're gonna skip around, and I'm just gonna show you some things. Honestly, I could go straight to Miorby's reaction video because he posts a lot of this guy's video in there to disprove some of the stuff he says. But I want you to get the idea of his narrative first before we go to Miorby's, or else it's going to end up painting Timmy2cents like a complete monster. Although Timmy2cents, he had, I want to be honest, like about 2-3 weeks ago, he had almost 100,000 subscribers, and he is now down to 51,000 subscribers. So Miorby just literally, he's stunning on this guy. Like, I'm going to be honest. So now I feel like this guy's kind of getting a bad rep a little bit, if you ask me. But that's why I don't. Now, I've never seen so many people go to bat for the mother of a school shooter. But hey, you know, it's the era we're living in. All right, ready?
One thing I do want to say, go into the comments real quick. There is an updated pin.
Yeah, here are my corrections to the original video.
Yes. I didn't know if you saw that yet or not. So
yeah, a lot of people are hating on me because I stuck up for him and all this stuff came out. Okay, so my original take on this, I might as well give my take right away because, you know, it's worth saying. But my original take was I don't think that she should be the person giving these speeches because this looks like grandstanding to me. Now, I'm sorry if that upsets some of you people, but this looks like grandstanding to me, right? Her son did one of the biggest atrocities in history, in American history, right? And to go up and lecture people, you know, no matter how well your intentions are and how much you think you might be helping, out of respect for the people who were affected by my child's actions, I would have just, you know, she wrote a book. The book did really well, and then she gave the TED Talk. Now, personally, I would not have given the TED Talk. The book I can understand, right? The book I can understand in writing. You know, here's some signs to look for maybe with your child. But to be honest, I never thought. Now, to be fair to her, there's been school shootings before that, but nothing to the level that her son did. Now, where we get into the weeds is it appropriate for her to do this talk, to give this speech? You know, is it? Now, me personally, I would much rather hear from one of the parents whose child was killed. You know, that's how I feel. I'm not really interested in what she has to say, simply because she raised a monster, basically. And at some point, you could say all you want about, you know, parenting and, you know, what kind of effect it has on someone who, you know, does something like this. But to say that parenting has zero effect on what a child goes on to do with their life, I can't get behind that. I just can't. There's something that happened in this kid's life that made him decide to do this. And somewhere along the lines, she failed him as a parent, right? You still with me, Cenros?
I am currently looking up some things.
All right, well, let's just get right into the video real fast. And then,
well, mostly, I do want to give my point of view on this. I will play slightly devil's advocate on this, but I do agree. I don't think she should have gone and done a TED Talk. My reasoning for that being is I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective of if I were one of the parents of one of the people who were in the school, seeing her go up and do that, I agree.
It would trigger me. It would trigger me.
And to me, it's like, oh, you're getting fame off of this. When now the part that I disagree with is a parent, because how old was the kid again? I completely forget.
He was a senior in high school.
Okay, so he was over 18 most likely, or at least 18.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, a TED Talk is where people go to give mostly viewpoints, and it's mostly normally informational, but in this case, I think it was highly disrespectful to go do it.
I don't think, and again, I agree. Like, I don't think that what she was trying to do was, I think she thought she was helping. Personally, I think she really thought she was helping. But if you don't think that somewhere in her head this plays to her trying to salvage her own reputation, like, that's just a human condition, right? We're survivors. That's what we fight to do, right? We fight to restore our reputation. Go ahead, Cenros. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. So I agree. It's a case of, I agree. She's trying to save her reputation. I've seen many documentaries, many psychology based reviews of these things, and they all normally end up becoming the same thing of they're not. Now, granted, I will say this. I'm not saying at all that she agrees with what happened or what happened is good or anything like that. I don't think if she had known, she probably would have done something. I don't know the full story behind this. I didn't bother to look it up, didn't have time. Our lovely leader didn't tell me we were going to talk about this.
Yeah, I actually, that's my fault. I apologize for that.
But from what I can understand is she's coming at this, she's got her mind, her heart is in the right place, but if I were a parent, I would most definitely not be happy, because you're standing up here when your son was the one that did this. I would just be highly upset. I mean, you can't sit here and try to, I don't think she was trying to justify what happened.
No, not at all. I'll give it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and she's not trying to justify it, but trying to save face, because when these things happen, the families normally get ostracized forever. That they're always going to be known as, oh, you're the person that had that kid that did this.
Yes.
So I can't necessarily blame her. Like you said, it's the human condition. They're trying to salvage something that they can't.
Yeah, just out of respect, because I look at this woman's face, right, and I see her son. Now, obviously, that's going to be the case because it's her son, but
yeah,
if you don't think that that's going to be a little bit haunting to some parents, then, I don't, it's just, I don't know. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to make it so that you guys can see the chat in here as well. I did download some Streamlabs So my stream's gonna be getting a lot better moving forward. But right now, we'll be streaming on Kick, TikTok, Facebook, all of it at once. So we have something. You guys have something to look forward to. As Carol Carpenter says, we've only just begun. Right.
I am ready to watch this. I'm very interested to hear what they have
I just
to say.
kicked out my freaking headphones.
Do test positive. Please quarantine yourself.
This message was brought to you by Pfizer.
This message is brought to you by Pfizer.
Dude, they need to hire you.
Dude,
All right.
I am ready to watch this. I'm actually very interested in what
This is
more
actually
interested in the TED Talk.
it's a good video because now I want to preface this by saying the whole point of this video is to focus on her TED Talk, not her book. So this is where a lot of stuff gets taken out of context. But I feel like Timmy is not he doesn't deserve to get all of the hate that he's getting right now. All right.
So what is his just so I'm coming into this with kind of a knowing what is his viewpoint?
Timmy's?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're going to play the video. He's going to tell you his viewpoint.
Oh, okay. All
All
right. Give me a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Rose-tinted glasses, red flags just look like flags. I watched Sue Kelbold's talk, skim through her book, and after hundreds of hours of Columbine research, I'm going to tell you why Sue Kelbold's TED Talk is the worst ever. If you didn't know, Sue Kelbold is the mother of Dylan, who in 1999 tried to kill everyone at Columbine High School in Colorado. Sue claims that not only could she not have known, but no one could have identified her son as a deranged killer, and she even had the audacity to educate us about mental health, or brain health as she calls it.
And that's when I truly became a brain health advocate, is that I'm talking about mental health, or brain health as I prefer to call it because it's more concrete.
She has reached the highest level of cope, and I find her statements both counterproductive and insulting to rational parents and society at large. Because when you learn all the facts about the case, who Dylan was, the mountain of evidence showing Dylan and Eric's plan, it's hard to imagine why Ted would ever allow her anywhere near a stage and a microphone. Sue is the parent of one of the most deranged children that has ever walked Earth, and without an admission of error, she has nothing to teach us. The facts surrounding Columbine are disturbing. Fair warning, this is going to be quite the emotional journey.
All right, let's pause it right there at the setup. So you get the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
All right. So his whole thing is he's coming from the perspective of a parent, right? And I feel like a lot of people who are hating on him don't got kids. Because I feel like only people who have kids can understand where he's coming from.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, there's certain things, there's certain basic principles that every parent needs to make sure they teach their kid. You know, how to love, showing your kid love. Now, I don't know, I haven't raised a boy yet, but when my daughter's having a rough day, I sit her down and I ask her about what's going on, you know, and I make sure she talks to me about it, and then we have a discussion about, like, what, you know, if someone's bullying her or whatever, we talk about, like, okay, how are we going to handle the bully? You know, stuff like that. And what the bully's actually feeling. Stuff I never got when I was a kid. Like, I always got, like, go punch him in the face. Stick up for yourself. But I was a small kid. Like, now I could probably whoop a bully's butt. But back when I was, like, a kid, I was like a scared little boy, you know, and it was just hard for me. But now that I'm a big, strong man, I don't have to worry about those things. But, like, you know, it's all about perception and explaining to your children, like, you know, that, and this seems like this was the number one reason behind this, why the shooting took place, was bullying, right? So you get the gist, right? That's basically the gist of the whole video right there. Okay. So I'm gonna go to Miorby's video now.
All right. Shoot me a link for that, and then while you're doing that, I have just now done some research. Yeah. I will say this to anybody that does have kids, or if anybody watches this in the future. If you have kids and they come up to you and they say, hey, I need to talk to you about something, take them seriously no matter what they're going to talk to you about. If they genuinely seem like they're serious about something, we need to. A lot of people need to take this stuff more seriously.
Yeah, obviously. And I also think that we need to really, I think it needs to start in the schools where we need to learn how to protect our kids properly.
Yes, I fully agree with that. I have actually signed petitions before in my area.
Like every school should have one police officer. Every school.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Not only one is that going to create jobs, but two, that's going to make sure that everybody's much more safer.
And also,
And it should be government
This
funded,
is
so it
me
doesn't come out
looking-
of the school's budget.
I look at it this way as well. Not only that, I apologize. If I get any louder, I'm going to be yelling.
Hi, I want
My
Hi, I want-
perspective on this is, if we do that, not only will that help in schools, but also potentially help with, police interaction in a community as well. The police officers will get to know these kids, and maybe, hopefully, these kids will see police officers.
Well, that's why they have like stuff like the Police Athletic League, you know.
Yeah.
So they do have outreach programs.
Apparently, my audio needs to get boosted.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, I think I had to turn. Actually, okay, let me hear you.
Checking.
All right, that
Check,
should be
check.
better. It's because I accidentally turned you down trying to turn the YouTube down because Miorby's really loud. But I'll just turn down the YouTube in the YouTube volume.
to talk to you.
Okay, that should be a little better.
Oops.
Yeah, oopsie, poopsie.
I
All right, did you
accidentally
get my
paused
link?
the live stream. No, I need to be kicked up just a hair more.
A hair more.
Or no, never mind. B says it's better. Let's see what Sam says.
Yeah, you're on a bit of a delay. I just frozen and keep losing audio. Aw, that's because you're so far away, Sam. So your ping's probably really slow. Because I'm basically sending you what I'm doing across the Atlantic Ocean. So it's gonna be a little harder for you.
Off of YouTube servers, it could just be internet coverage in their area.
Yeah, that's possibly true too. All right, so now I'm just going to give you a quick heads up. Miorby is one angry little monster, okay? I just want to preface that. This is where I think his big flaw... You could see the monster behind him, too, which is kind of funny. Because I feel like he almost did that on purpose. To be like, I'm a monster. All right.
Oh, yeah, the monster can.
Do you got that?
Yeah, we're at 000, right?
Is D still saying you're low? Can't hear you now, Foxy.
Nope, that was before.
Oh, okay, so I'm just on a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Okay, better. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna press play here. Yeah, Sam has no idea what a ping is. A ping is just like, think of it like how strong your signal is. That's basically what a ping is.
The higher it is, the worse.
Leave my ping alone. My ping is personal.
Leave my ping alone, you jackass.
I don't like talking about my ping. My ping is personal to me. My ping might be the best ping, but this is my ping and I like it. All right, you ready to take a check out at this angry man?
In about 2 seconds, I'm making sure everything's good on your end on your stream.
All right, thank you, sir. You're my technician.
Yeah, okay.
Yo, I also want to talk to you about how I can get a 2-computer streaming setup because I have 2 computers right next to each other that the one I only really use is like my research computer, and the other one I use for all this other good stuff like my DCS and stuff like that. But I would love to be able to.
That afterward.
Yeah, I would love to be able to set them up so that they're working together. That would be awesome. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
you about this video. It's by the YouTuber Timmy2cents, and it's about Sue Kelbold, who is the mother of Dylan Klebold, one of the 2 school shooters from the Columbine school shooting. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I believe Timmy's video is extremely deceptive. It lets the viewers believe things that aren't true simply because of the way that Timmy presents them. Throughout his video, Timmy will say things that just simply aren't true. He will misattribute quotes to people that didn't say those things, and he will take actual quotes out of context to make them seem worse than they actually are. And now normally I'd be more charitable than to call someone a liar. I'd say that they were wrong or misguided, but in this specific case, I think that you'll agree the only way a video like his could be made would be if someone set out purposely to be deceptive. Now, I don't want my video to be needlessly long, so I'm gonna miss some things, unfortunately.
Yeah, pause it. I'm at 48 seconds. All right, so you hear that right away. He's saying he normally would try to be charitable, but he's saying that Timmy's basically out to be evil here. And I don't see that. I think it's just a guy who's a dad who's worried about, you know, the perception of this woman speaking out.
I agree. And also, as I told you a million times, you're going to hear me do this a million times in the future. Psychologically, this man is already out for murder. Anybody that watches this man is going to, I'm sure he's I don't know him personally. I don't know what content he makes. It's the first time I've ever seen.
This is like one of the first videos. He had, when I first saw this video pop on my algorithm, he had 200 subscribers.
So
now he's got 5.1. So needless to say, his video definitely went viral in my opinion.
So I have 2 opinions on this. The first one being, in a psychological standpoint, anybody that's going to watch this dude, you breed what you speak. So
now, I don't want to be completely unfair to Miorby, okay? I think that what he's doing is right? You want to be able to correct misinformation that's out there. I think that's very important. Now, I don't think he needed to paint Timmy as some evil, deceptive guy. So that's where my issue is with him. And Timmy went, we're just beginning this story, Cenros. There's a debate, Timmy went and took a debate with this guy who literally, Timmy didn't have to do that. He could have just ignored that this guy existed. He's a small YouTuber, but he was charitable. Timmy had almost 100,000 subscribers. Miorby had 500 at the time, but now he's just skyrocketed it because everybody saw his video. So he didn't really have to sit down with this guy. He had nothing to gain from it, and it seems like it's backfiring on Timmy because Timmy's losing subscribers like crazy. If every subscriber that Timmy lost came and subscribed to me, I'd probably be at about 30,000 subscribers. That's all I'm gonna say right there, folks.
So that actually leads into my second opinion, is that potentially the reason he made this video was clout chasing.
I don't know. See, that's hard to tell.
That's why I said it's an opinion.
Yeah, it is definitely. I definitely feel like there's a bit of clout. Maybe this guy saw an opportunity and he took it. I can't rule that out.
We are not saying that his opinions are wrong or in any way infactual to evidence, and obviously something must have been right because Timmy went and put into his comments updates and corrected himself. Yeah,
and again, I just want to point out, I have no problem with Miorby making this video. In fact, I think it's great that he did. My problem is the tone of the video and the intent of the video. So the tone of the video is that Timmy's an evil guy, and the intent of the video is to expose him. It's not just a... he could have easily just made a video being like, look, I'm sure this guy probably thought he was doing great. He thought he was being helpful, but instead, I'm going to correct him where he's wrong. This is why I think he's wrong here. This is why I think he's wrong here. Instead, he goes, this man is flat out evil. And that's where I have an issue.
Painting someone as evil can very seriously affect how people will view them in the future, in the present, and on their past videos, which is why he most likely lost a lot of subscribers, because people went and they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, this guy's evil. This guy's an evil piece of shit. That's exactly what they thought.
But it also concludes one thing of the human genome and psychology of if people see one thing, most people are going to go with the crowd. And with him saying, oh, well, he is most likely in this case, they're both advocating for the same thing, but one is kind of one is protecting, one is trying to defend a protector. There's a whole lot of things that go on in this.
Oh, you have no idea, bro. We haven't even started baking the cake yet. We're still mixing all the ingredients up in the bowl. Are you seeing all the girls? Are you seeing the girls doing all the ping puns up there?
Oh yeah, I
it's pretty good. Everything's gonna be all right. I see you, girls.
Everything gonna be all right.
Met to cure starts in what? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either. And I'm not looking it up either.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. All right. I mean, welcome to the stream, James. I'm just not sure what you're saying. I mean, obviously he wouldn't be like advertising on my stream. He's only gonna be advertising to like 4 people. But one day we'll have more.
People will advertise on anything.
Yeah.
And if they are advertising and I find out, you will have a very quick ban.
Yeah, he'll just be banned. Because we don't do that on this. All right. Well, I'm trying to build a stream. I'm not trying to make people leave my stream to go to other people's streams. What are you going to try to take, like, the 2 people I got watching my stream? Like, that'd be the biggest dick move ever.
Oh, yeah.
You 3, come with me.
You 3, come with me to the land of Narnia.
Yeah. With a lie, yeah. Basically, that's all you gotta get. Like, you are the 3 chosen ones to come to me to Metacori. It starts in 20 minutes.
The 3 chosen one. Oh God, that one hurt my throat. Oh.
Yeah, okay, Gollum. Look, that's just the community we have too. Everybody's welcoming.
Oh yeah.
We're just a good bunch of people here.
No, I'd like to watch more of this video though.
All right, ready? I'm at 48 seconds.
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Unfortunately, but I'll do my best to address the most important things, okay? So with that being said, let's get into the video.
If you didn't know, Sue Kelbold is the mother of Dylan, who in 1999 tried to kill everyone at Columbine High School in Colorado. Sue claims that not only could she not have known, but no one could have identified her son as a deranged killer.
Sue doesn't say anywhere in her TED Talk that she couldn't have known that Dylan would turn out to be a school shooter, nor that nobody could have known that Dylan would turn out to be a school shooter. But we're going to come back to that claim in a little bit. But first of all, there are 2 things that I want to point out. And number 1 is that if Sue had said that she couldn't have known that Dylan would turn out to be a school shooter, she would have been right. There was no way for Sue to know that Dylan would have turned out to be a school shooter, and yet Timmy just brushes over that, as if that suggestion is silly, even though it's the truth. The second thing is that nowhere in Timmy's video does he actually back up the claim that Sue claims that nobody could have known that he would turn out to be a school shooter. He just says it, and I tried my best to find her saying that, and I couldn't, which makes me think that he's just made it up. But anyway, we'll come back to this a bit later into the video, so let's carry on watching.
I think this
has reached the height.
All right, pause it. We're at I'm at 158. All right, so I also think a reason why Miorby's video went viral is because the way he articulates his arguments are really, really well. Like, he does a really, really good job with it. And he even leaves you hanging. Like, he has a good hook in the beginning. He's like, this is why he's wrong here, but we're gonna wait a minute before we can circle back to that thing. Let's get to this stuff first. Holding on to viewers' attention. That's why I think he's done so well. Now, I think he's got a super promising future. But dude, I laid into him when we get to the debate between the two. Like, I was all over his page being like, dude, what the hell are you doing, man? I think he saw these comments that I left for him too, because eventually he was like, all right, now I know I made a bit of a stink about, I know I effed up on the debate, but so I think he did see. I wasn't being mean, I wasn't being cruel, because I do think that Miorby is like, I think he's going to be a great content creator in the future. Now, luckily for him, he got a nice jump start because he happened to stumble upon a guy who just completely crapped up a argument he was making, and this guy was able to disprove everything he says. And what do I always say on YouTube, right? If you can expose somebody, you're going to grow. Like, that's just it. Everybody's looking for someone to do a witch hunt on. That's just the way that the internet works. But any comments from you, Mr. Cenros?
Sorry. I'm currently looking at something. So I have to agree that
I promise
from
you, I'm
the
going to take you
little-
through this whole journey. I won't let you down, all right?
No, well, thing is, I'm great at multitasking. I've kind of been watching both here on and off a little bit. Timmy made one huge mistake, and that was he didn't source his facts.
Yeah, and I think that's why it was so easy for Miorby to pick them apart.
Exactly. If you're not going to cite your sources. That's the word I was looking for.
Now,
If you can't cite your sources.
once we get to the debate, I'm going to explain to you why I was so frustrated with Miorby, because he had an opportunity for Timmy to explain how he got to all the conclusions he got to, but Miorby doesn't let him say anything. That's why everybody's so mad at him. I think that. Well, hang on. Well, okay, I'm gonna pull Miorby. We're gonna wait until we get to that point, okay? Because I want to circle back to that. We're gonna get to the debate in a minute, but let's finish checking out some of Miorby's video more. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Highest level of cope, and I find her statements both counterproductive and insulting to rational parents and society at large, because when you learn all the facts about the case, who Dylan was, the mountain of evidence showing Dylan and Eric's plan, it's hard to imagine why Ted would ever allow her anywhere near a stage and a microphone. Sue is the parent of one of the most deranged children that has ever walked Earth, and without an admission of error, she has nothing to teach us.
So there's two things to address here. Number one, you talk about the mountain of evidence, and presumably you're talking about the notebooks and the recordings that show their plans for Columbine, right? But it's important to point out to the audience that Sue didn't have access to this information. She didn't have access to the tapes, and she didn't have access to the notebooks until 6 months after the shooting. She didn't have access to their plans.
My problem here with this argument from Miorby is that he's misconstruing it like that she's seen the tapes ahead of time, and that's why she didn't realize what was going on. And Timmy's trying to, and I guess Timmy was trying to be like, all right, I think he's misconstruing Timmy's argument, because I think Timmy's argument was if she was paying attention to what her son was doing, she would have found the tapes in the journals beforehand. Not that she saw the stuff and then was like, okay, he's fine, he ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you to clarify, because from what I heard, it actually, Miorby's very correct. She had no access. I mean, the guy's like, what? I was actually trying to find that, like 18. He's an adult. Why would she be going through his stuff?
Well, I mean, at some point, ask your son, hey, what are you up to? What you do today? And I will say,
doing?
Yeah, basically, like, what's going on with you? Tell me about what you're up to. Like, what have you guys been working on? And if your son happened to be like, oh, I just made a video today at school or something like that, and these kids were getting suspended from schools, I believe. Can you, if you wouldn't mind, would you look that up for me and see if Dylan Klebold had been suspended from school? Because if he was, then that supports Timmy's argument more that clearly this guy was doing something that he shouldn't have been doing, and she should have been more involved in his. Now, I haven't read Sue Kelbold's book. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about this story. I'm strictly basing it off of the two arguments that I'm hearing in front of me before anybody like jumps down my throat about, what we have going on.
I am currently
looking that up. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, so the only things I can find off of a quick search, I could, if I had more time to prepare for this, I probably could.
Can you refill me with some iced tea? Thank you, baby. I'm sorry, say that again. My throat's really bothering me, so I'm trying to get some. My lady's gonna get me some juice to soothe my throat.
Anyways,
So what you find?
From the quick research that I've done, there is nothing in here about their school attendance or anything like that. But what I can see,
I know Eric Harris was constantly in trouble at school.
So,
but I don't know about Dylan.
They were. They referenced them from their last names, which is a common thing. But Harris and Klebold were active in school play productions, operated video productions, and became computer assistants, maintaining the school's computer server. So, but the other thing that it says is that they were unpopular students. So
yeah, we know
I
that
don't
much.
See anything in here about what they did. I'm doing a quick skim.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I can actually read very fast.
Good, I need that because I read very slow. I'm ADHD. That's why I create stuff and not read stuff. I can create it at my own pace. I'm gonna try to see if I can find anything too.
I mean, I probably could have just typed into the search bar school attendance record for them.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky and Google will just give you an answer right at the top, but yeah. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that.
Let me see if I can do you one better.
Yeah, this is like I think this would be important information, but again, yeah, that's why Cenros has to actually like look and find out if there was ever anything that might have suggested through the school's disciplinary action whether or not there was something to look for. Because I will say, if we can't find any proof that like Dylan Klebold was like ever in trouble at school with anything, then I'm gonna have to, really, side with Miorby here. Again, no, my problem isn't Miorby's information. I think Miorby's information is absolutely on point, but my problem is the ethics and the intent. Thank you, sweetie. The ethics and the intent that goes on behind what he's trying to do to Timmy2cents.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Because a lot of people were saying a lot of really mean things to Timmy2cents. Like they were like, oh, maybe he should change his name to Timmy2cells so he could gain, because that's the only amount of brain cells the guy has. Like, the guy made a video and he messed up, but he thought that he was making a good point. And clearly a lot of people agreed, because the video got 3.1 million watches. And everybody agreed until Miorby came along and disproved stuff. Now everybody hates him. So everybody agreed with him until they found out that some of the stuff, information that he gave wasn't like 100% on point. And if there's one thing that we know, is that people do not like being lied to. And even though he wasn't intentionally lying to them, and he was kind of like blurring facts a little bit, I don't know if he did that intentionally. And that's where the argument comes into. Like, did Timmy do this on purpose, or was he just making mistakes? Was he just a flawed researcher? That's where I think the meat and potatoes of the argument is here. Yeah, I don't see anything about his high school life. I mean, I know that he did all that stuff, but I don't see anything about him being suspended or not. Any luck over there?
I'm currently looking at the moment. I just pulled up the FBI file.
Oh, you like my man bun?
I pulled up the case file for it.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah, so, again, just if anybody's joining us late, I want to just recap what we're doing here. We're talking about the big explosion that's going on between Timmy2cents, who was still a mildly small creator, but a much larger creator than Miorby, who pretty much, started off with a viral video calling out Timmy2cents and pretty much put him on blast. And it's causing Timmy2cents' sub count to pretty much, downfall faster than a plane getting shot down. So that's exactly what
Probably
we're
not
talking.
the appropriate terminology to use in this.
Well, I'm a
These
DCS
days.
fan. Yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, I'm a big fighter pilot fan, so I like to use fighter pilot knowledge. I think my next video might actually be a a DCS video. I want to start dabbling and throwing some of that stuff into my my vids. I want to do. You can actually probably help me out with this one, Sen. I want to take off and land with every plane on a Russian carrier to see which ones can do it and which ones can't.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Doesn't that sound like fun?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. Try to use my land-based catch hook on a Russian craft.
Plus, you could take off with almost any aircraft on a Russian thing because you ramp off of it.
It's ramp. So, from what I'm seeing, there is damn, I need the unedited files.
Where are the files? Where are the drugs going? It's Batman.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm not gonna reach out to them.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't find it, it's all right. We'll just keep going. But I just thought that would have been an interesting bit of knowledge to know, because that changes the whole narrative. Like, yeah, if he was a straight A student, then yeah, you would never see that coming. But apparently, from my familiarization about the story, is that Eric Harris was the one who tended to be a bit of a miscreant or misfit. It was his influence that led Dylan down that path. So it's like, at what point is the mom culpable in this? And right now we haven't found anything yet. So right now it's 1 point Miorby, 0 points Timmy2cents.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to keep going?
Yep.
All right, I'm at 245.
I'm a little bit further ahead than you.
All right, 245.
Oh well. Yeah.
3,
I'm good.
2, 1.
And so why is it silly for Ted to offer her a TED Talk just because they have access to those plans in retrospect? Your argument only makes sense if Sue had access to those things, but she didn't. The second thing is that you say that Sue doesn't have anything useful to provide unless she offers an admission of guilt. And yet 8 seconds later, you cut off the part in her TED Talk where she gives an admission where she says that she failed as a mother. Here's the part that you show in your video.
Before the shootings, I thought of myself as a good mom, helping my children become caring, healthy, responsible adults was the most important role in my life.
I wanted to first check.
And then here's the bit immediately following on from there.
Was the most important role in my life. But the tragedy convinced me that I failed as a parent. And it's partially this sense of failure that brings me here today.
Later
All
on in
right,
my
pause
video,
it. See it now. You gotta admit, it doesn't make Timmy look good, right?
No, it falls under a case of selective argumentation.
Like, I can see why Miorby's
unfortunately-
mad. Like, I can see why he's mad. But I still don't like the tone in which he and my issue isn't with the facts here. It's my issues are with the ethics behind whether or not she should have done the tech talk to begin with, right?
Yes.
Because it's all about intellectuals sharing like stories of either success or all kinds of different stuff or overcoming adversity. I just don't see how she I don't. For me personally, I know that Columbine happened like a lot longer ago but that would be like, do I want to hear from the parents of like the Sandy Hook shooter? No, I don't, right? Because they were elementary school kids. It's a much more violent thing that took place there.
I have actually heard a little bit more of that than I cared to listen to. It is a very horrible thing, like hearing the phone calls.
Yeah, I would. I don't think I could do it, especially since my kid's like that age. Like, I just don't think that I would be capable of doing it.
Yeah, and I do not recommend anybody go and look for those. If you want to, be my guest. But it's heartbreaking, and it's also very, very angering.
Sam says, I reckon you can say after the event that you weren't surprised that Dylan carried out these atrocities, but you can say that every troubled student is a potential mad serial killer. Yes, you could. You could. I'm sure nobody thought Ted Bundy was.
You can't. She said, but you can't say.
Oh, but you can't say that every troubled student. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm sure there's plenty of students out there or kids out there who are just so bad and are uncontrolled. Their parents can't control them. Like, that's not the thing. I think I'm coming back to the topic of whether, like, what the intention of Timmy was behind this, and that's that he doesn't want to hear from parents of school shooters, and I can't argue with that. I agree with him on that point. Now, I know his facts were wrong, and did he create a narrative to probably support his argument? Yeah, absolutely. But that doesn't make me want to all of a sudden, like, put Sue up on a pedestal and be like, she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean?
Yes. And also, to that comment from Sam, I was also a troubled student at school.
I knew it.
I have, well, not in the same way.
I knew you
I
were
had
trouble.
a lot of things happen to me at school, some of which B knows what I'm talking about. I've talked with her about it. But no, I actually agree with Sam, and it's the problem is, and B, I'm actually going to touch on that here. Gun restrictions won't do anything. This is the problem I see a lot, is people are like, well, we need to put more restrictions. The problem is, if they're a criminal,
they already can't get guns, yeah.
They already can't get guns, and if they want one, they can get one.
Listen, I can't get guns. The United States of America says I'm not allowed to own a firearm. And I'm like the nicest person you will ever meet. So, like, to sit there and say that they're not strict, I mean, that's just crazy. That's just a Democratic talking point, and and there's a reason why the Second Amendment was the right to bear arms. You know, there's a reason. It's so that we can't ever live in a place where the government literally can control us and turn us into, like, slaves, like in China. Basically, that's essentially the part of why we are allowed to have guns in America. And I agree.
This is something I want to put out there. ARs, assault rifle, is a derogatory term. That it is not a thing.
Yeah, because they're not assaulting people.
An assault rifle is a military firearm. This is coming from somebody that knows this.
Were you in the service?
I was there for a little bit. We learned about this terminology.
Okay.
A sporting rifle is, I have sporting rifles. They are not meant to, that is what a gun is for. It is meant to put holes in things. In the nicest term I can put without having to go into too much detail.
Sam's cracking me up in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's true. I mean, she's not wrong, though. Like, if you just took away guns, then kids would just bring knives. I mean, it's just...
yes.
And just to emphasize on the point that Cenros is making, he's basically saying that the people who follow laws and who are law-abiding citizens and are law-abiding gun owners, they're not going to be the problem, and they're the only ones who you're going to make pay for your new rules regarding firearms and stuff like that. It's the people who don't follow rules, right? The people who are illegally buying firearms who are the problem. And frankly, they're already illegally buying firearms. If you move to put more legislation out there to restrict more people from buying firearms, guess what? They're still going to buy firearms illegally. That's just the facts of the matter, because those people just don't care. You know what I mean?
I will say this right now. I don't think people realize just how easy it is to obtain a firearm illegally. And let me preface that again, illegally.
It's probably pretty easy.
I can go right now and get one delivered to me tomorrow.
Well, don't put out your sources. Stitches get
I'm
stitches
not
get
going
stitches.
to,
But no, I'm sure I
But
could
no,
go to
this-
some areas and probably find it too. Is basically, you know, but I used to be a drug addict. I know exactly what areas to go to find, you know, stuff that's illegal. Let's just put it that way. And it's not hard. Everybody can find someone. You just go to a shady area or a shady bar and you ask around till you find someone who's got it, and then you'll be taken care of. It's not a hard thing to figure out. Like if cops really wanted to, they would find these people easily. But the problem is, it's not just one big, functioning corporation that's selling all these illegal firearms. It's a ton of independent small dealers.
So I'm actually going to put something in here because I did have a friend that was a detective, and I asked him flat out. I said, "How come?" I said, "You know where these people are that are doing this?
They
I
want
said,
the big
"Why
fish."
Don't it's not just the big fish?" And he actually made it a very good point. He said, if you were to take, he said, if you've ever taken a bucket of water and put it in the water, he said, and you pull it out, he said, all the water that was surrounding it rushes in to fill it, correct?
Yes.
He said, if we take out the big guy in an area, he said, all the other people that have been doing it,
They're just going to take up where he was.
there's a space that needs to be filled because, it's,
Well, then you get them too.
yeah, but the problem is once two people try to take the same place, it's going to create a bigger problem.
Yeah, because they're
There's
going to
gonna
be
be-
fighting over that
Yes.
territory. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. It's like sometimes you got to let some of the small fish go just so the pond stays peaceful.
Without giving names or anything, he was actually very he was very well known with the local gang here. He knew the leader, but he never actually did anything with him. And I asked him why, and he said because he said, I get more information from him than I do anybody else. He said, and he knows where the line is and where not to cross.
Yeah. All right, let's
'Cause
pull ourselves.
yeah.
Let's pull
Yeah,
ourselves back on
get out of
topic.
that.
Yeah, we took a left turn there.
We
because
didn't just take a left turn. We took a 180.
we still got to get to the debate. And I would love to be able to post this video as a video too later. Because I feel like we're
Yes.
covering a lot of good stuff here. All right, so although I wish I would have recorded it, but I think I could just download it and then edit it later if I want.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so let's go back. I'm at 3:45.
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to show more places where Sue has tried to take responsibility, and they're all from sources that you've cited in your video, which means that you've seen it, and then you've chosen to not include it in your video because it doesn't feed the narrative that you're trying to weave. A thing throughout
All right,
Timmy's
hang on,
videos,
pause it. All right, so that goes back to the comment you said earlier that he didn't cite his work. So apparently he did cite his work, but he just chose to ignore certain pieces in the cited works. How do you feel about that?
Oh, hold on. This is another thing that I will do. I'm going to go back to here. Click.
Yeah, you can, Sam. You can buy a gun at Walmart, but like, say for someone like me, when I was going through my rough time, there was a point in time where I was in a institution, and that immediately disqualifies me from being able to purchase a firearm. So you have to do background checks. I don't care what the liberal media tells you. The background checks for guns in America are extremely thorough. You can't just walk into a store and buy a gun and walk out. They have to call. They have to run you through a whole series of checks to buy a firearm. There's no such thing as a gun show loophole, because the only gun I ever did buy before when I was allowed to was at a gun show, and they ran my information as well. So these gun owners take this stuff very seriously because they know if they sell the gun to the wrong person, not only one are they liable for what happens, if they don't do a background check, but 2, it'll end up ruining their business later down the line. So I don't care what people tell you. It is not as like, yeah, most Americans own guns because, you know, we're crazy like that, but it's not as easy as the liberal media would have you believe it is.
No, it is not. So I have Miorby is actually incorrect. He did not cite his sources. I just went and looked.
Maybe he changed it after this video came out. Maybe he changed.
His description hasn't. They
So Timmy didn't cite him in the description. Is what you're saying?
No. And from what I can tell, all I can find in here is
He may have cited them through the video, because if I do remember correctly, during Timmy's video, he was saying, in this situation, when I found this on this, like that's where he might have been citing his sources.
I will say this now. B, you're doing a great job. But,
Yeah, B, keep up the good work.
We're gonna flip off of that topic. I love you, but we do need to flip off of that topic because I could talk about that for days.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do a live stream about guns in the future, but right now I'd like to, like Cenros said, I'd like to focus on this because we still have so much to get through, and we only have about 45 minutes left of the live stream. So
yes, and but no, from what I can tell, if he were to properly cite his sources, it would be in the description with links and things like that. That's
yeah,
all
so
I'm
people
gonna
can
say.
research.
Let's get back to the video.
All right, I'm at 402.
All right.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Suggesting that Sue needs to take responsibility for the shootings, but I want you to consider what exactly is it that she needs to take accountability for. That is the case that I would expect Timmy to make in his video, is what exactly is it that she's not taking accountability for. And so I want you to just keep an eye out for that as we carry on watching the video. Now it's going to get very interesting because this is when the real deception begins.
A New York Times article reviewed Sue's book. The top comment reads, "Watching her rationalize her son's murderous actions is nauseating. She blames ignorance and Eric Harris, but never herself. A vile person."
Now, this is a very interesting move that Timmy makes, where instead of citing the book or citing the New York Times review of the book, we're citing the comment section
that's not
on
good.
the review of the book. You read out a comment saying that she doesn't take responsibility, and yet if you were to read out the article to your viewers, you would read this. The crime of which Klebold convicts herself is ignorance, and for that she feels bottomless guilt. She recalls being dumbfounded when someone asked her if she could ever forgive her son. Forgive Dylan, I said. My work is to forgive myself. I was the one who let him down, not the other way around. You say she's not taking responsibility.
Pause. Yeah, I mean, Miorby's making a really strong case. Again, my issue with Miorby is not the fact that he is. I have to say though, he is kind of convincing me that maybe Timmy was being a little more malicious than he might have let on, but I really don't think that Timmy was trying to do this to be evil. I really think that he thought he was trying to be helpful, because I'm not interested in hearing from the parent of a school shooter either. You had your chance to do the right thing when you were raising your child. Now, granted, I know that people are crazy. I know that sometimes people would just go off the hinges. But remember Jeffrey Dahmer's dad? He put out a book, and he was all excited because it was going to become a #1 bestseller, and he was going to get interviewed and make all this money. And then the judges ruled that all the money that he makes from his book has to go to the victims, which I personally agree. But I do think that Sue does give all the money that she made from her books and her appearances to charities. I think that's truthful. My problem is, though,
look up the information on that.
Yeah, I think I've seen that because I looked that up too, because that would have been an easy slam dunk to be like, she sucks. But she does, I do believe she does donate all the money from her book and all her charities to local or whatever mental health charities and stuff of that nature. That doesn't erase the fact that she's gathering quite a lot of fame from this. And Fame is its own currency, you know, and especially nowadays. Can we agree to that? Fame is 100% a currency. Clout is king, folks. You can, I mean, she might not be making it from the book or from her appearances or whatever, but I mean, she could be making it somewhere else. Like she could have got, like she could be taking 10% off the top for funds or something like that, and then donating the rest, because that's how a lot of charities work, you know.
Okay, here we go. She donates the profits from the book to charity, and that is all they said.
I don't think do you get paid for a TED Talk? Can you look that up? I don't think you do get paid for a TED Talk.
Yeah, I can look that up real quick.
Yeah, because I mean, personally, I don't think that you do. I think that those are like, it's like a humanitarian for like philanthropists and stuff. And I also know that TED Talk, they do like to bring in some really contentious and people who are like the subject of quite a lot of controversy, and they love to have those people to talk. I remember there was a TED Talk about with a girl. Okay, so they don't pay. That's what I thought. Yeah, so there was this TED Talk where, you know, this girl was talking about how in the future there was like basically like pedos would be able to be classified as like an LGBTQ type of thing. And I don't think that that's ever going to be a thing. And then all these people like blew up at her. And then I came to find out that it was like a theme at that TED Talk. So they have themes for their TED Talks. And this was like, I think the theme was like future things that could take place in a different dimension, or like a crazy future. And so her topic was, you know, it didn't necessarily have to be truthful, but the girl took a lot of heat. I mean, it was a really gross thing because she was basically a big thing, but yeah, if you guys want to help me out with Christmas gifts, feel free to leave some super chats up in the comments. You hook your boy up. I don't like I'm not here soliciting, but you know, I don't want to mind a super chat here and there and get that cash flow going. You know, I got a girlfriend who spends a lot of money. Sorry, baby, if you're watching this, but I just gotta tell them the truth. All right, let's get back to this. If
you haven't already, become a member.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think
the videos early.
I think we only have members in here, and we love them. We adore you guys.
So if you aren't a member already,
yes,
gift out a membership to somebody, because I know you can do that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, especially like with you guys, like we're gonna be posting this. I really like the conversation that's taking place here, so I definitely feel like I'm gonna post this later as its own individual video. I'll go through and edit it just to clean up a lot of the dead space that's in there from us looking up stuff. But so I think that this could end up being a pretty popular video if we do it right. So
I do want to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
We do have like 39 minutes left. This could potentially turn into a
ongoing series,
a two-parter, because I do need to do things for myself at 9.
Yeah, no, I got you, bro. I think we got the point of Miorby's.
I have Miorby's point down.
Okay,
I know exactly what he's talking.
So let's go to the debate then.
Is it the Timmy2cents debate live uncut?
Yes.
Got it up.
I really want to find out what his exposing myself I'm a bad person thing is, but that was from 2 months ago. All right, so let's just start. Let's jump ahead, because for the whole first little bit, they have trouble with audio. It's almost like they're running my stream. Let me see where I'm at.
That's not a difference in opinion.
Okay, so and
okay.
I do want to say that Miorby also did make an addressment about their mess of an argument.
Yeah, do you see my comment on there?
Let me go look.
That should be one of. Oh my God! In my video, it looks like Miorby's right over my shoulder. Don't hurt me, man. I'm just trying to cover your video. Don't hit me. Where's he at? Good, Miorby. Good boy. Good job, buddy. I could already see him like if he responded to my video. This dumbass patted my face like I was a frickin' dog.
You're getting a little better at that.
I am. I'm working on my accents. I got a lot of characters coming into
But
this.
you still can't get down the announcer.
No, that's your job, bro. That's all you, bro. I ain't trying to put you out of.
Here for it.
I ain't trying to put you out of work.
I hope not. You're my only hope.
All right, I'm gonna start at 3:09 because the whole first 3 minutes is them messing around with the audio. I think this is where they right where they're about to get it fixed. Now I want you to focus on Now I want you to go into this wiping your mind of everything you know so far, and I want you to see how, if you were watching this and you haven't seen either video, because some people would have stumbled upon this without seeing either video, and I want you to tell me your honest opinion on who you think is the aggressor in between the two of them, okay?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to do anyway, because I kind of forgot. I actually am coming from this from a better point of view because I've only seen a little bit of each video. So.
Yeah, and that's my fault, guys. Like, if you end up watching this and you're wondering, like, I didn't even tell Cenros we were going over this topic tonight, so I came into this knowing everything that was going on, and he didn't know a single thing. In fact, he didn't even know we were going to be talking about this until the live stream started. So he's doing a great job of keeping up, and he's just trying to, behind the scenes, he's trying to make sure he's picking up as much information as he can, so his talking points aren't like just out of left field.
I try to keep my things based off fact and not my opinion.
Yes, so that's my fault as a host. I failed him.
No, you didn't, because it's actually a really good thing. Somebody that knows about the topic and then having somebody that doesn't know coming in with a fresh set of eyes.
It's true,
and maybe point something out that you didn't notice.
And I did kind of want your opinion of the topic from without seeing the videos, because I wanted to see, like, I wanted to watch it take place as you get exposed to each side. That's why I showed you Timmy's video first, because when you watch Timmy's video, you were kind of like, oh yeah, no, I totally get what he's saying, you know. And then I showed you Miorby's video, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, no, I totally get what he's saying now, too.
Perspective is a big deal.
It is. So, you know, and now this is where the whole shit show takes place. So, again, YouTube, this is fair use. Miorby, don't try and copyright strike me. I'm not saying you're going to. I still, guys, if you ever come across this video, I would love to be the moderator between you two. I think that I could keep the peace between y'all bros. All right, we could get.
Be happy to jump in too.
Yeah, we will help. I mean, he'll look up any information you need. I will make sure that the debate goes smoothly. Put me in, coach. I'm ready for the big time. All right.
I would say that they each follow regular debate rules.
Yeah, I just gave each one of them a couple minutes to speak without interruption, and then you know, if someone has a specific question, then you can ask them that, and then I'll be like, you know, that wasn't the question. That you didn't answer the question. Can you please answer what he said? You know, instead of him, you'll see why they need a moderator. All right, because this just goes off the handles real fast. All right, I'm at 309. You ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Did it?
There it is. There it is. I think I figured it. I think I figured it out.
Amazing.
All right, someone in
Hi,
chat
Timmy's
confirm.
chat.
Someone in chat
Hi.
confirm. That should be it. Testing 1, 2, 3.
See, they're just like us. They don't know how to.
Much better.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows how to stream.
Back to okay. So where we go? Okay, so back to what I was saying. I went through your video. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I think there are a handful of things I would love to have changed about the video. Little mistakes here and there, but I think overall, I do think. I disagree with most of your feedback, and rather than going and doing video responses and going back and forth, and me making a video response and then you making a video response, I feel like you can get right to the point, right?
That's fair. That's fair. I will say, before you carry on, I just want to say, I'm interested in you saying that it comes down to a difference of opinion when it clearly doesn't. It's not a difference of opinion. You've been shat on for that. It's not a difference of opinion. When you're misquoting people and editing quotes out of context.
Pause. Your initial reactions. Let me hear them.
So right here, I do have, because I've never done debates, but what he's doing right now immediately turns him into the. Timmy is being very fair. He stated his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Is normally expected in a debate, and immediately Miorby comes in and shits on him.
Yeah, he literally said the words, "You've been shat on," which is in a debate is called a bad faith argument, which means that I'm not I'm not trying to be fair. I'm just here to rip you a new one.
If I will say, if they do end up watching this, if you guys are going to debate, you need to come into this with open minds.
Well, Miorby already
be willing
admitted
to
that
learn.
Miorby already admitted that he was a little too aggressive. Now, I have to be fair to Miorby on one big point, right? He, like I told you about his follower count, right? He started, when he posted that video, the first time I saw the video, he had 200 subscribers. Now he's got 5.1K, and he's talking to a guy who has 100, who almost, well, had 100, almost had 100,000. Now he's like half that. But he was, and this is getting a lot of traction. Timmy's video has 3.1 million views. Miorby's has over 200,000, and it's growing every single day. So you're going from being somebody who doesn't do this regularly to being thrust into the spotlight. And that could be a lot of pressure. And I'm sure Miorby was feeling a lot of pressure. I'm sure the night before this debate, he wasn't sleeping. He was probably like super anxious about this. And he just wanted to get in there and make sure he defend himself. And I wouldn't be surprised if all the people telling him, oh my God, Miorby, you're so right, would give him a bit of a ego boost. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm actually going to piggyback off of that and say, I think the reason that he was so aggressive right from the get-go is because he has a point of view, and he's trying to defend his viewpoint as well, and not having done this before. Sam, I hope you get better. Please take some medicine. Have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, we love you, Sam.
Yes, we do. Not having done this before, like me personally, I've never done a debate myself, but he's I will assume, although I will say I did want to touch on, he
Get to the point, Cenros. Get to
God
the
damn it, shut up. No.
I'm giving you the Miorby,
He's
baby.
never done.
That's why you've been shat on. You don't get to the point.
He might have had some history in debate class, but actually being in a true debate.
I don't think he's got any debate experience, because
that's what I'm thinking as well. So I can't necessarily blame him for how he's acting.
Yeah.
He's never had to do it before.
That's why in his comments,
either of these guys' history.
That's why in his comments, I wasn't like, dude, you dropped the ball. I was just kind of like, listen, man, I'm trying to be fair here. You know, you kind of went after him like really aggressively, and there were so many people in his comments being like, "You're dumb, dude. Oh, Timmy was the one who was aggressive." Have you seen Timmy be aggressive yet?
No.
No. Wait a minute, I saw something. Oh, thank you, B. You the best girl. Love you. Mod's hooking me up.
Oh, yeah.
I guess this is Christmas.
Just so everybody knows, 50% of all donations do not go to me.
No, they do not. Not yet. One day they will.
I love joking.
Not 50% though. We'll negotiate a different rate. All right, let's get back to this debate.
75. Oh, you're generous.
All right. Thank you, B. Though, seriously, thank you so much. Usually once one person, like I remember when we had the chat was a lot bigger. Once somebody would do that, a bunch of other people would do it. That was always, it's always very helpful. So, you know, things like that are what allow me to keep going. So,
very true.
I just want to make sure that you guys realize how much I appreciate that. Like those super chats aren't just like, I haven't even received a single dollar from YouTube yet.
I don't think it will. I think you have a minimum.
You have to at least make $100 before they'll give you any kind of money.
Yeah, that's. Anyway, back to the debate.
All right, 411.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
It's not a difference in opinion.
Okay, so and we'll go through that. A lot of my misquotes, like for example, one of the ones you brought up, and we can go through it. Is you attribute malice if I make a mistake, when it a lot of the misquotes are like a quote from her book, and I say Sue said this, and it will be like Solomon in the preface, right? And overall, like, yes, that's like.
No, just to be clear, you said that Sue says things like this in her book, and then you say at least she's consistent in her messaging, which means that you're saying those are Sue's words when they're not Sue's words. Not that you made a little mistake here and there, oopsie poopsie.
Yeah. And so I would argue her book, you know, she picks a psychologist, you know, the Solomon guy who, you know, wrote a book about, you know, children being very different than their parents, you know, so she finds a psychologist who agrees with her, you know, overall theory about mental health, which is fine. It's what everybody does. It's called rhetoric, you know, it's fine. And she uses him to write the, you know, the forewarn. And, you know, yeah, those aren't her words. And this is one of the corrections that I would like to make is like, yeah, I messed up. It wasn't her word. It was her book. And so here's the thing. But just one second. That is a mistake. And this is one of the mistakes that I will correct. Sorry, I'm burping. And it is a mistake that I want to correct. However, you take that and you say, oh, you're being dishonest and disingenuous, which implies intent, which implies that I went in there and tried to misquote her, which I didn't have to, because she doubled down on that idea in her TED Talk, in her book, and in other places.
Stop for a second. You said that those were Sue's words when they weren't, and it was clearly not Sue's words, because when you put the text up on the screen, everything is in third person. Now, you and I know Sue Kelbold just enough to know that she doesn't speak in third person. I'd love to know, how did you end up doing that? Did you just Control F to try and find what it was that you were looking for?
Okay, pause it real quick. I know we're getting close to the time, but I just want to ask you, so far, what are your thoughts on the debate so far, Cenros?
So far, I will say, I did just look it up. I can't find anything, but the way Timmy is holding himself, I guarantee almost 100% he has either done a debate before or he did debate in college or high school or something.
What do you think?
The way he's carrying.
What do you think about his... So he's basically saying he's quoting her book, and that's where he got it from, her words. So if it is Sue's book, right? I imagine Sue wrote the book. She probably had a bit of a ghostwriter who was like typing everything for her. But if she states a quote in her book, are those her words? In your opinion? Because that's basically where Timmy's saying he got the quote from her. And even though it wasn't her quote, it was in her book. So he's giving her ownership of that notion. You know what I mean?
So, me personally, I will say, A, it's speculative. But B, on my opinion, I actually agree with Timmy. If it's in her book that she has her name on, then it most definitely can be quoted and attributed to her person.
Yeah, and I think that's where because he's saying, like, because Miorby's saying that she never said that, and Timmy's saying, but it was in her book, though. Like, but there's a specific part we're gonna get to that I really want your opinion on. So let's get back to this, and I hope it comes up soon, because there's
right.
I'll tell you when the pause when we get to it. All right, I'm at 6:18.
Got it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so to look at this from another standpoint, do you think I would have thought I would get away with that? Like, this is like if it is so obvious to you, and that she actually does believe those words, and those are and it matches up with her opinion.
Timmy,
this is a mistake. Okay, like, you don't have children, right?
No.
I pause it real fast. Right there tells me everything where the difference between the perspectives come from. All right,
I agree with you on that.
Without having kids, you can't understand where Timmy's coming from and where his concerns come from. So as far as Miorby's concerned, like, Timmy's just some guy out there, like, spouting BS. But Timmy has a reason behind why he's doing this. All right, I don't want to take
a dog in the fight.
Yeah, I don't want to take a big long break here because we still didn't get to the part, but I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
All right, so 6-3-6.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
We just had a newborn.
Okay,
we have 3 kids.
Before you move on, Timmy, I'm holding you to the point. No.
Yeah, so I'm explaining how you make mistakes. I researched this video over 2 or 3 weeks, I was doing a video. The whole reason I got into this Columbine research is because I was making a video on the other channel about a kid who, got locked up for 7 years for, making a threat in RuneScape, a school shooting threat, right? So I got into this topic. I started learning about Columbine. And so I was just researching this thing over 2 or 3 weeks. And this is a huge video. There is so much
Timmy,
content that I went through.
Get to the point.
Okay. And so, I had a quote that I wanted to put in the video. And when I went to editing, I wanted to put that quote in, and I read it. And I when I was doing the voiceover, I said, Sue said this, and it's from her book.
She's
it's not what she said
in her messaging. You said that those are Sue's words and that she was consistent with her messaging. Now, I don't necessarily agree that she believes those words. Also, I just want to address you
believes
saying,
the words of what?
For example, wait 1 second. For example, you saying that that Sue added this in her book because she agrees with the messaging. The foreword in books doesn't always, the author doesn't agree with the person who wrote the foreword. For example, in this book, which is my favorite book, the foreword is written by Russell Brand. In the foreword, he
But that's
disagrees.
not the book that we're talking about.
I know. I know. I'm making the point, Timmy. I'm making the point that the
it's
person
called a red
who writes
herring.
the
It has
book,
nothing to do.
No.
But in this case,
the person
it
who
does.
writes
This is where
the
it's
book
falling off the rails.
doesn't have to agree with the person who's writing the foreword to the book.
But they do in this case.
In this book, for example, I just had one right here. In this book, Russell Brand disagrees with what John Ronson writes and says that he's only writing the foreword because his manager forced him to. They don't have to agree with it. Just because it's in the same book, it doesn't mean that Sue believes those words. Those are two independent, different people.
Does.
No, it doesn't.
In this case, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so where does Sue disagree with Solomon then?
Where does well, she didn't say those words, first of all. Just to be clear.
Okay, well, tell me, does she disagree with Solomon? Tell me where she disagrees.
It appears like it.
All right. What do you got so far for me?
So
We still haven't gotten to the part, but we're getting close.
Yeah.
So we got 20
I'm
minutes.
happy to actually stay for that. But the thing I want to point out is, Timmy is actually very correct, and you are right. They are falling off the rails very quickly.
You can see Miorby's getting
is very
aggressive
correct.
and it's making Timmy defensive.
Well, I do want to point out, you can't. He made a very good point of, well, in this book, okay, well, that's not the book we're talking about, and he makes that point. And he's right. It is a red herring. You can't just say, well, in this book it says this, but in this, well, they're two different books. If you're going to say something, you need to pull something from the evidence. And I was really hoping to hear Timmy say, show your evidence. Show me in a quote the book.
Yeah, they
where
came from
it
someone
states,
else.
You can't just come into this stuff and not do that. It's mind-boggling, but that's just what I wanted to throw in.
I understand the point that Miorby was trying to make, but like I agree with what you said. That doesn't apply to every book. So yeah, it might have been the case in Russell Brand's book, which I'd probably love to read. I love Russell Brand, and I actually respect Miorby for being a big fan of his. But again, yeah, I mean, it is. This is like, I feel like the fact that Miorby started off by being like, I think he watches a little too much Destiny, because that was a Destiny tactic. Stay on topic, stay on topic, stay on topic. Instead of letting Timmy explain how he arrived at his opinion, or his research led him to where he was in the research, which I think Timmy was saying, look, I had so much content to go through that it's possible I was going to make mistakes here and there. And he agrees that he made mistakes. And I think all he's trying to do is, I think all Timmy's trying to say is, I wasn't trying to do this maliciously. And Miorby's like, no, you were trying to do this maliciously. And Timmy's like, why would I do that? Like, you act like Sue Kelbold owes me like $100 or something like that, or she ripped me off one time. Which I don't really see the reason either why he would want to do that. I think he just has a strong opinion about Sue Kelbold grandstanding, which I do too. And I think that he just, if you've never made, I don't think I've ever seen Miorby make a documentary. And that's what Timmy did. He made basically a documentary essay video about it. And, when you're making these, there's so much information that you're dealing with that it's easy to confuse them. I remember during my video that I did on, what's her name? Alphaba on TikTok. I accidentally misgendered her a few times because I just got so caught up in what I was talking about that and people were asking me in the comments, did you do that on purpose? I'm like, no, I did not. I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't. If she wants to be referred to as a woman, I got no problem with that. So that's like I understand Timmy's point there, but I think that Miorby starting off by being like, hurry up, get to the point, stop getting off topic, stop spouting BS. You're already showing bad faith in the debate. So now Timmy's going to start being more closed off, you know, and you're never going to get good information out of someone who has to go on the defensive. That's just never going to work out. And I feel like the saddest part about all this is that this could have been such an amazing debate if they just took turns and listened to each other and let each other explain their concerns. I think that would have rewarded the viewers so much, because this would be, both these guys seem to know a lot about the topic. But again, this is just like, I feel like the only people who lost here, well, one besides Timmy losing subscribers, is the people who could have watched this debate and got a lot out of it.
So what I'd like to add to that is it's number one in debate theory is, if you're going to debate somebody, you should be coming into it with an open mind and shut up when the other person is talking so you can actually hear their point of view. Don't try to cut them off, because they could have been trying to make a point and you're sitting there going, oh, well.
And that's what got me mad when I first watched this debate, was I was very upset that, like, I wanted to hear what Timmy had to say, and Miorby cut him off and pretty much made him stop. And that, as a viewer, that is incredibly frustrating, because I really, really, really wanted to hear what Timmy had to say. I felt like if anything, if you really dislike this guy this much, let him talk and let him hang himself. Don't constantly interrupt him and try to keep him on point, because that's only going to end up hurting you. Like, do what Destiny does. When Destiny's debating someone, I know Destiny does interrupt people from time to time, but that's only when the debates get really contentious. But all he had to do was just jot down the points he wanted to come back with. That's what Destiny does. He just jots down real quick the points that he wants to, like, rebuttal.
Yes, that's proper debate theory, is you let them talk. And
yeah,
if you're solid in your viewpoint, I agree with you. If his viewpoint is correct, let him talk. Because if he's wrong, you sit there, jot down the notes, and then go, hey, you know, you're wrong. Here's why, and here's my evidence for the proof of my argument. And here you said this, and I quote, because these things are recorded so people can go back and look. You said this, that is wrong. Here's why, here's my proof. That is how it should go. I hate watching videos where people don't get to get their arguments out.
Yeah, I agree,
because
sometimes you have to set up context. You have to set up context to make your point.
Yes. It's disingenuous to the viewer, it's disingenuous to your debate partner, and it's disingenuous to yourself, because you're not being open to hearing anything. It
sounds like Miorby just wanted to hear Timmy be like, yeah, I got it wrong. But Timmy already said, like, I did make mistakes. But then Miorby was like, no, did she say it or did she not say it? Did she say it or did she not say it? And then, like, he's like, I'm trying to explain to you why I feel like she said it and why I can attribute that to her words. And he just didn't want to hear it. I
am going to say that for right now, I probably will watch this on my own time. But I would love to see a round 2 with a moderator.
Yeah, a lot of people
whether
would.
It be you or somebody else.
Well, I've been throwing my name out to both of them, trying to get their attention. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they
were there any specific points in the video that we needed to get to?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. But I think it's coming up. Let's go to 8:42.
All right.
And if we don't get to it, we'll hurry it up. All right, 3, 2, 1.
She doesn't say those words herself. If she did, you would have included them.
What words? What words?
The words that he says in that quote.
What are we even arguing about?
I think we're getting close to it.
We're arguing about that specific quote, which you attributed to Sue Kelbold, and you do it twice in it. So, well, let's bring it up. The quote which we're talking about. No, hold on. you want us to bring up the
I
quote?
have it.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So it was in 1455 of your video. Just for context, this is all being brought up because I used the quote in her TED Talk. And at the very end of her video, which is, in the end, what I know comes down to this: the tragic fact is that even the most vigilant and responsible of us may not be able to help, but for love's sake, we must never stop trying to know the unknowable.
Yes.
And so in
And that's a
Solomon's
different quote. Yes.
well, no. So this is context, right? So in Solomon's book, he basically, I'll pull it up right now. How about that?
I think I remember it.
We're going to go all the way to the very beginning. So I'm pulling it up on my screen. But
the quote that Andrew Solomon writes is that the message of this book is terrifying, that you may not always know your child, that they may be unknowable to you.
Skip to
which is the same,
340.
it's
1340, I'm
thing
sorry.
that she says in her TED Talk.
1340.
That's what I
Okay,
like to call it.
I do want to put something in there. I appreciate Timmy's and like I said, I'm okay with going a little bit over, but no, I appreciate Timmy saying, "Let me pull it up and quote directly from the source." I do not like that Miorby's like, "Well, I think I remember." Okay, well, you can think you remember, but
Well, that's
you should
kind of
be
the
reading
big
it.
deal about the part of the video I'm trying to get to.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm not skipping over it. I'll know because this was like a big talking point in the comments, but I want to just make sure that I'm
Also,
not.
the area I have the video paused on right now does not paint Miorby in a very good light on his picture.
Yeah, neither does mine. I'm at 1347. He looks like he's rolling his eyes at Timmy.
No, mine looks like he just had a big rip.
All right. Ready? Well, hang on. Let me just check real quick and see if I'm even close to it.
So Dylan walks in and he's uncomfortable. Why is he uncomfortable in the McDonald's?
Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly where I want to be. All right. Go back. Let's go back to 12:55 or 12:53, just because I don't feel like moving it in 2 seconds.
Yeah. I've got 12:52.
That's close enough. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Agree. This doesn't come down to disagreements. So you quoted that quote as if Andrew Solomon was Sue, and you said that at least she's consistent in her messaging. That doesn't seem like a mistake.
And that was
to
a
me.
mistake.
And even when you went back, when you were editing,
I quoted her book and I said that this was Sue's quote, and I messed that up. But it's also consistent with her overall.
It's not. How much did you read a book?
I skimmed through the book just like I said in my TED Talk.
You did. How much did you skim through it? How much of it did you skim through?
I did like basically speed reading and skim through different chapters. There was a lot of stuff. No. Okay, what did you think about the restaurant scene where she's at McDonald's with Dylan? What did you make of that scene?
Go on.
Tell me about it. You've read the book, right?
I did, yeah, back just after I left college.
So Dylan walks in and he's uncomfortable. Why is he uncomfortable in the McDonald's?
I don't actually recall. Why?
You didn't read the book.
Yes, I did.
You didn't read the book.
Yes,
okay, so tell me. This is a very profound scene. It is a big part of the book towards the end of the book.
Yeah.
Because you didn't read the book.
Because I did right after I left college. I haven't read it
recently.
recently.
So I'm going to remind you more. So they're at McDonald's. They're sitting down at the table. And Dylan is really uncomfortable. Why is Dylan uncomfortable? Because you didn't read the book.
Yes, I did.
Because listen, okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm fine being patronized for not reading the book from cover to cover. But if you're claiming to hold yourself to the same standard, you tell me what happened.
Timmy, what I'm saying is not that you didn't read the whole book, right?
I think I just caught you with your pants down.
I'm saying, Timmy, what I'm saying is that when you went in
you
search
didn't read the
for
book.
that idea,
Can you admit to it? I admitted I didn't read the whole book.
You Control-F. You took a screenshot. You put it on the screen. Even when you were editing, you could see around that quote when you highlighted it that it wasn't
Miorby,
Sue.
can you admit that you didn't read the book?
No, I've read the book.
Can you admit
I read
for
the
us?
book a long time ago. Now,
a long time ago. Your video was a month ago. You made your video a month ago.
I didn't know.
All right, that's essentially the gist of where I wanted to get in this video. All right, before I say what I want to say, I want to hear your opinions, Cenros.
Okay, so I actually, in this case, Timmy is correct. You cannot. I actually know about this part because I read your comment. You can't sit there. Timmy admits he did not read it. he skimmed it.
Yep.
However, even if Miorby did read the book after he left college, I don't know when he went to college or anything like that. You are doing yourself a disservice if you did not reread the book, or at least did what Timmy did and skim through it to find your talking points. It's inherently bad, and I agree with Timmy when he said I've caught you with your pants down. He did,
And
I actually approve of how he handled it. He said he made a very good point that he doesn't know what he's talking about either.
Yeah, and the whole point of this is, like, if Miorby wasn't so aggressive about what he claims to be like the facts, and he didn't come off like he was so knowledgeable about this wouldn't be a big deal. But the fact that he is like purposely trying to paint Timmy as a villain in this all because he didn't do enough research when Miorby himself didn't do enough research, you could see where this makes Miorby look really bad.
Yes, and I also want to point out the fact that Timmy, Miorby was trying to cut him off, but I am glad that he managed to get it out. He said that it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And he admits that. And he also said at one point in the video, I can't remember specifically which part, but I'm pretty sure you probably remember, he said, there's a lot of things about the video that I would change if I could.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what Miorby's trying to get Timmy to admit. Like, I know he's trying to get him to say that, Sue didn't say this or something. But at the same time, Miorby clearly, he admitted to himself he doesn't remember the book. And just in case anybody's curious about what happened at the McDonald's, it was that Dylan was, there was a bunch of kids sitting behind Dylan, because everybody's going to wonder what the thing that happened at McDonald's is, so I'm just going to clear it up with you guys right now. There was a bunch of kids sitting at the table behind them, and they were laughing, and Dylan thought they were laughing at him. And that just kind of puts you in, it kind of just tells you the mindset that Dylan was in at the time. Like, if anybody, and everybody I think can relate to this, right? Have you ever been somewhere and people around you are laughing and that little thought creeps in your mind, are they laughing at me? Are they laughing at me?
I deal with this every day at work when I am riding up tires outside and I have people out there who are taking a smoke break and they're all staring at me. They're probably not even thinking about me at all, but to me I'm like, oh God, they're sitting there looking at me. They're talking about me, and they're judging me. It is a mind frame.
Yep.
Everybody has gone through it.
Now Dylan, he believed, like, he full-hearted believed they were laughing at him. Like, he didn't have any thoughts about maybe they're not. Like, he just assumed that they were laughing at him. And you can understand where that would develop a hatred in yourself.
Yes.
So, now I believe Dylan was a victim of bullying, so it's easy to understand how he would have arrived at that mindset. But this is the main issue I have. Like, if I knew I was going to be doing a debate, right? And the book was going to get brought up a lot, you best believe I would have had that, either the audio book going in my ear constantly before the debate just so I could jot down some stuff. But to go into here, having read the book, and I'm not saying I'm sure Miorby remembers like a majority of the book, and I'm sure it's hard for him to remember certain details, but that would, for someone who knows a lot about this topic, he probably could have remembered it, because a lot of people in the comments remembered that part of the book. So that's the only reason I know what happened. I didn't go and read Sue Kelbold's book. I'm not very interested in reading it. I think it's great for parents who have kids that maybe be misbehaving, but my daughter's like a perfect angel, so I'm very lucky.
Isn't every parent's child a perfect angel?
Yes, absolutely. But mine's really
in their own eyes.
Mine's really a perfect angel. She'll give you the shirt off her back.
The one thing I do want to say, because we have got 3 minutes left.
Yes. Well, that was the part I wanted to get to. We can get ready to wrap it up, but give me your overall. Give me like your overall conclusions on this whole fiasco. Because the only thing that happens from here is they just yell back and forth at each other. Once I post this video, I'll put all the descriptions in the link if you want to go watch each individual video plus the debate. You can watch that all for yourself. But overall, I just want to get your opinion on this topic as a whole.
So, the first thing I want to clarify is I can talk from a psychological point of view on things. I am not a psychologist, nor have I ever gone to any school for that. I just want to make that clear. I'm just very well knowledged on it. But from what I can see, I would love to see the two of them agree that this was a shit show. This was improper. It was done horribly. And come back to it having redid their arguments.
Yeah, Timmy does disconnect from the call because Miorby just gets to the point where he's interrupting every single thing that Timmy says. So Timmy gives him a couple of warnings. Says, listen, if you're going to ask me a question and you're not going to let me finish, I'm going to leave the call. And Miorby just kept doing it and doing it. So eventually Timmy just disconnects the call. And then I think there's like 14 minutes of Miorby just trashing him afterwards. So that's just kind of the cliff notes of what you're not seeing in this video.
Yeah. I would love to see the two of them come back with their A game, be open to listening to each other, and for God's sakes, when somebody's talking, shut the fuck up.
Just be respectful. Like, the minimal requirement is to be respectful. Again, like, I want to admit, like, Timmy didn't have to do this. He could have just let Miorby go. A lot of people think that this debate actually hurt Timmy more, but I think it actually hurt them both, to be honest with you. I mean, Timmy did take ownership, but the problem with that is when you're an essay like commentary channel like Timmy is, and you do, nobody's going to trust you moving forward. They're not going to know if you're pushing a narrative or if you're pushing the truth. So that pretty much just destroyed, like, Miorby destroyed Timmy's channel. Well, he'll probably regain after this is forgotten after a while. But right now, this is crippling his channel. Like, everything he's worked so hard for, Miorby just took away from him. And I think that's only because Miorby painted Timmy as an evil guy. If Miorby was like, hey, look, you made a few mistakes here. Like, maybe just fix it. Maybe do a rebuttal video. I think that will save you. But no, Miorby, that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted to destroy this guy, and he did. And I don't think that that's the way that you need to present yourself moving forward. Like that, because that makes you look like an evil person, too. Regardless of where you're grandstanding or what you think you're right about, this is going to end up making you look like someone who goes after people.
It does. And at the end of the day, I do want to clarify, just in case either of them watch this, I have no based opinions on either of them because I haven't watched any of their videos. I don't know anything about these two. I actually agree that I'm almost certain now from what I've seen about Timmy, he is well versed in debate culture, and that is why he understood.
Well, I think all he was doing was simply just explaining how he arrived at his opinions, and how he may have, and like he's like, yeah, I did make some mistakes. This is how those mistakes happened. But Miorby wouldn't even let him say that. He was just like, well, you're wrong. Just admit you're wrong. Just say you're wrong. And which he did. He said, I made mistakes. But I don't know what else Miorby wanted from him. I think Miorby just wanted like Timmy to delete his channel or something.
Specifically say that he was wrong.
Yeah.
And that's. He did. He, like you said, he said he made a mistake. Also, Tina, if you'd like to be on time, happily join the Discord. Or B, if you could put the Discord link in the chat, that'd be great.
He does look like he's behind me, doesn't he, B? Miorby's haunting me. Don't hurt me, sir. Don't hurt me.
I'm just a small stream of stuff.
All right. Well, I think that's where we're at. Do you have anything else you want to close with, Cenros?
No. That's about it.
Do you want to plug your Twitch for my people?
Actually, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna go live after probably about 9:30.
All right, I owe the family some good. Since I've been working on this video so hard, I owe them some quality time to watch some movies. But I'll drop in and just see what you're up to and say hello.
Yeah, just leave a lurk or something. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I will 100% do that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This was a long one, but there was a lot to unpack here, and honestly, like, a lot of this, it's not just the topic that's the issue. This explains a lot about the culture that's going on YouTube right now, and that's call out culture. Like normal people, if someone saw this live, I feel like Miorby would have just went up to him and been like, "Hey man, look, I just want to correct you on a couple things you got wrong here. You know, in the future, just make sure you're checking your stuff right. You don't want to be sending out misinformation. Explain why you're wrong." But instead, Miorby decided, I'm going to destroy this guy. That's basically what he did. And I want to end this man's career, which I don't like, because Timmy could be depending on this to feed his child. He's the dad. He could be depending on this money. You know what I mean? And he finally had a big break with this video. And I'm sure he made a ton of money off of it because he got 3.1 million views. That's a lot of money. But that's not nearly enough money to live off of. And especially if it got age restricted, which I don't think it did because it was in everybody's algorithms. I think it got recommended to so many people.
Age restriction, we're not going to get into that topic. I can happily get into that topic on another stream about how all that works and the things about behind the scenes that go on with the algorithm.
Absolutely. All right, Cenros. Well, thank you so much for your time, brother. And make sure you go check him out on Twitch at Cenros, Cenros. And Tom, thanks for running the Discord. If you catch this, we'll put a link to our Discord. If you're seeing this video after we post it live, yeah, just go check out the Discord. A lot of great people in there, really supportive community. We're all about, sharing love and support for one another. We won't try to destroy your careers, all right? And if you see this, Miorby or Timmy, we don't have an issue with either of you guys. We're just breaking down where we think that this conversation went off the rails and, like, how much better and how much more productive it could have been if you guys were, just a little bit friendly, a little more patient. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Moderators having trouble getting the link. If you guys can't, that link that I just posted is a forever link that I have like 1 million of them made now because I keep forgetting.
Tina, you always come as I'm signing off. What's up with that? Tina always every time I'm saying goodbye, Tina's like, "Hey." It's the second time in a row I see I'm late to the party and on my way to bed. Well, I hope you have good dreams, Tina. I hope you'll go and take time to go watch this live from the beginning, because we covered a lot of stuff. It was a really good live stream, probably the best live stream I think we've done so far. If you want my opinion. So thank you very much, Cenros. Love you, brother. B, thank you for moderating the chat. We love you too. All my people, all my latelys in the Discord, we love you guys so much. Sam earlier, my European buddy. Anything else you want to add, Cenros?
I hope everybody has a good weekend.
Yeah, good weekend. We should be doing one more live stream before Christmas, so we won't say Merry Christmas yet or Happy Holidays. But Happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish supporters.
Yes, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays to anybody.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys later. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell to let you know when we go live.
And comment.
And comment. Yeah, engagement helps. All right, guys. Peace.